Yay! We had like our first warm day, and I got some dirt, so I did some gardening. Yay! Garden video! Whee! So first we're starting inside. This is our house plant. It's a bromeliad. It really needs to be repotted because this used to be the bromeliad, and then all the baby plants came and ate the mother plant like they were aliens, and it was very cool. So now we have like 100 bromeliads in there. Well, it's more like 5. But anyway, yeah, or 6 or something. I don't know. There's a lot of baby plants in there. Probably more than need to be in there, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. They're alien bromeliad. It's cannibalistic. It eats its mother. It's kind of cool. It's pretty neat to watch. Anyway, so this is my first failed attempt at starting some pepper seeds, but like, yeah, it doesn't really work in the cotton, so I decided to screw the cotton, and I've got these little pots. And the troll is marking where there's the hot peppers. These are the hot peppers, and these are the slightly less hot peppers. They're all hot peppers, but yeah, some of them are less hot. So salsa jars are like the perfect size and shape to be little starter pots, and then the lid keeps stuff from getting in there. Yeah, so yeah, I felt very proud of myself for utilizing that, and hopefully I'll get some plants this time because I might get one. I think that one's germinating, maybe, possibly. Don't be worried about the weird little blobs in there. That's actually plant food. No, that's the one that's germinating. Look, it looks kind of like an embryo. It's creepy and cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's the indoor plants. Yay! This is our kitchen. Woo! Outdoor plants. This is the most fun part. You have to put up with this video because even though it's really boring, my garden makes me ridiculously happy, so I'm gonna share it with you anyway. Ha 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 ha! And this is my rosemary plant, which is really doing poorly because it took forever before the weather warmed up enough for me to put it outside, and it hates being in the house, and it almost died, and it's gonna take it forever to come back, and I'm really sad because I used to use my rosemary plant a lot, and now it's gonna take forever before it grows back. But it does seem to be looking a lot better, so I don't think it's gonna die. So that's good. And this part died though, and I didn't have the heart to chop it away. But yeah, so hopefully it'll come back and get really huge again. I shouldn't have cut my sage back, apparently, according to the internet. I cut it back last year, so I did the same again this year, and then after that I learned that you don't have to cut it back, and it might do as well or better if you don't. So this year I'll just leave it. But anyway, I mean, even though I cut it back, it's still coming back just like it did last year. This is one kind of sage, and I have another kind over here, but we'll just go around the thing. This is garlic and an onion. Both of them came from the kitchen that we didn't use them fast enough, and they sprouted, and I said, oh, I'll put them in the garden. Yay! And so that was how that came to pass. And they had to get replanted today because I needed to put more soil in the pot. Everybody's happy. I fed all the plants and put more soil in them and watered them. And this guy did great all winter, the chives, because I mulched it with itself. So it's a capital. Yay! And it looks good. And then this one was in the windowsill because this is where I had originally planted pepper seeds that I'm pretty sure will never sprout. So I just took it out, and I got one cutting from my rosemary, and as you can see, it's pathetically tiny, and I do not know if it will ultimately thrive. However, it hasn't died yet. I mean, this has been in there for weeks like that. It hasn't gotten any bigger, it hasn't grown any new leaves, but it is still green and vital, so I'm presuming that it's just busily putting down roots in there. And maybe it's just taking so long because it's so tiny. But hopefully that will be more rosemary, because rosemary is my favorite plant, and if I don't have rosemary, I will cry a river. Yeah. And also the moss that I left in the, I always leave the moss in the pots when they grow moss because it's actually really pretty and I like the way it looks. Unfortunately, because the windowsill was so sunny, the moss is pretty much all dead. But that's okay. It's, you know, doesn't always survive, unfortunately. So Yeah, it all died. The salt, there was some more over here, and that all died too. But it's okay. As long as I get rosemary in the deal, I don't care what else grows or doesn't grow in that pot. So, yay! And then over here, we have the other kind of sage that I have, and I have 2 plants of that I started from cuttings, so they've done pretty well. They look a little bit, kind of, could stand to be a bit perkier, but hopefully they'll perk up now. They've got the food in the water and then more dirt. This is lemon balm, which I originally had bought to use to make tea, because I like stuff that I can use in the kitchen, either to eat or to make tea, or to put in my bath or put in my hair, or otherwise make myself smell good. And the lemon balm I have to just use like in the bath and stuff, because I found out belatedly that I can't drink it because it interferes with the absorption of my thyroid medication, which, like, what the fuck? So it's always good to do your research before you get new plants for your garden, especially ones you intend to consume. Kitchen chemistry dudes, this is the first pharmacy, so always make sure that your stuff doesn't jive badly with your other stuff. This is just a pot that I didn't do anything with yet so far this year, so it's resplendent with weeds and moss, and the moss in here did not die, at least not yet, and we've got some sort of weed that I don't know what it is. Anyway, and then the last bit we have is the wall. This is where I'm kind of the most proud of. Here we have mint, which you can't kill anyway. This is spearmint. One day I'm gonna have peppermint as well, and lavender, and then my garden will be complete. But anyway, so here's the best part, right? Okay. So over here, there was this plant that was growing, like right in here. You can kind of see where the wall is slightly destroyed. Yeah, I decided that probably it wasn't very nice to allow my landlord's wall to get wrecked, so I took it out. But this plant was so freaking cool, so I put it in the hanging thing. Look at this thing, it's so cool. Oh, I'm well proud of myself, because it was actually quite difficult to extract it from the wall, and I had to sew on this thing here and then put some holes in the bottom and painstakingly try to put the root ball of this plant, which was surprisingly huge, into the holes, and then kind of gently weave all these tendrils in between these things here and sort of get the plant arranged prettily, and then fill it with dirt. And then I put this stuff, which I had had in it before, but obviously it really wasn't doing the trick, so that's when I put this in instead. And I put that on the top just so it will hopefully hold more of the moisture in. And if I really wanted to, I could actually put another plant in there to spill over the top. But I feel like that would be packing it pretty tight, and I don't really have anything to put in there, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it at this. But I do not know what this plant is, but it is so cool. It is so beautiful, and I just really had to keep it because I so like it. And you can see how huge and lush it is because I have been leaving it because I couldn't stand to pull it out of the wall and throw it away. But like I said, it was really rooting the wall, so this was my solution, and I hope that it is not going to be sad about being taken out of the wall and then like die off. That would be so awful, but it seems pretty hardy, so hopefully it'll thrive in there and get even bigger and cooler. I wish I could describe to you what this plant feels like. It is like, it's almost rubbery. It's just the coolest freaking plant. I wish I knew what it was. I have no clue what it, it's got like my hair tangled in it. But yeah, I have no clue what this is, but it is so cool. So yeah, this plant looks like some kind of tentacle monster and is awesome, and I love it. Yep, so big shot here. Woo! Oh yeah, actually because of the sun you can't see anything. Oh, move. There we go. Those pots, you can see I very strategically place everything to catch the sunlight as it comes in the best way possible. Okay, so that's my garden for this year. And everybody's doing pretty well, and I'm very pleased, and I love gardening. Yay!